Hyperia is already starting to dominate the skyline at Thorpe Park, and in this video we're going to bring you all of the latest construction updates from what is going to be the UK's tallest and fastest roller coaster opening in 2024. Look at it over the water just there, standing up high on the left hand side and fitting in beautifully with the already amazing skyline at Thorpe Park. Now this update was filmed yesterday on the 10th of December 2023. Been about a week and a half since we were down at the construction site, and yes, lots has happened once again. The teams are working so hard with this project, and we're going straight in to talk about this element here, which is a very important part of the ride, and that is the transfer track. Now this is located as soon as the train comes out of the station. You've got the transfer here, and basically this is needed to take trains on and off the system and take them down to the maintenance shed. So yeah, you can see that piece of track coming out of the station that's just wrapped up there at the moment, and then yeah, a piece of track will sit here onto the transfer, and yeah, the actual track itself isn't in place on there yet. However, this very complex mechanism is now in place, and yeah, it's good that this is in because it's another part of the ride that's more complicated. It'll take time to get this programmed, and yeah, it all kind of syncs up with the ride. So yeah, they've installed this now. Following on from that, you can also see another section of track and more supports have gone in for what is going to be the first element on this ride. And with Hyperia, the experience begins before you even start going up the 236 foot tall lift hill. You're going to come straight out and you actually bank out to the left hand side. It's like a slow outward bank maneuver before going up the lift hill, and that's what really sets Hyperia apart from a lot of coasters. Most coasters would kind of bank inwards or just have a flat curve before going up the lift, but with this, yes, you are going to have a really nice feeling where you're kind of being pushed out of your seats at the start of the ride, which is definitely going to set the tone for this excellent coaster. And yeah, that's where the track currently ends at the moment, but I'm sure next time we're down there, them other pieces are most likely going to be installed. But yeah, it's great watching the construction of this. Every time we go, seeing different parts of it that have changed and new bits that have already got into place down there on the site. But yeah, you can see how that is all going to come to play just there out of the station for that first element. Also here, you can see how you've got the footers that have been in place for quite some time now. But yeah, this is where the actual track will be down into the maintenance building, which is just there on the left hand side. In terms of the maintenance building, it's all fully sealed in here at the back, as we can see. And yeah, you can also see on this far side, this is where they'll be able to lift in the trains themselves. Yeah, when they do get delivered to Thorpe Park, we're going to see them here be lifted in. This is like a mechanism that they've built that will help lift them in. And I imagine we're going to see like a pretty standard shutter, roller door put on there at the end as well. Now with the maintenance shed, it can actually fit both of the trains on Hyperia. So yeah, that's good to see that they can fit both in there for maintenance. It means they don't need to store any in the station. And possibly in the future, if they wanted to buy a third train, I'd imagine it opens up that option for them, because yeah, they could actually have a spare train there. And even if we didn't run 3 on the system, they could keep a spare, which would be good in case there's a fault with one of them. Now when we was last here, on the 1st of December, they were starting to install this huge support structure, and yeah, it's still not completed yet, but however, they have put in some more supports for this, and that pretty complex support that we saw them putting in last time is now in place. You can see it just here, and yeah, they lifted it up a few times, then took it back down. They were really struggling to get this into place, and that's the thing, it's a very complex support. Look at all the amount of times it joins on to other sections of the coaster, but apparently when we were there on the 1st, they did manage to get it in that night, and since then more supports have gone into place higher than that, and it's still got quite a way to go until this part of the structure reaches its maximum height. Yeah, there's still more supports to add in just there, and of course this is supporting the other many elements that we're going to be enjoying on this excellent coaster. Always like getting some zoom ins for you all, so we can see these supports, and it's an ever-changing construction site, so it's really nice just kind of documenting this and getting the photos, getting the videos before this thing is complete, because before we know it, the UK's tallest and fastest roller coaster will be complete, and it'll be testing, then it'll be operating, and honestly we're so excited to to ride this attraction. Now, if we pan down a little bit, you'll also see there's some more supports and also track sections that are down there on the ground. They are also white, so I'm expecting these supports to be the ones to complete that tower that we've just seen. And also them track sections probably to be attached onto there as well, because yeah, it seems like this has still got a little way to go, but I'm sure at the speed they've been going, we'll see that completed soon, and we'll see some track on there. And also that means it's going to start rising up above the tree line, hence the colour scheme for this. I've mentioned it before, but I will mention it again for those of you that don't know. Obviously it's got the gold sections lower, such as this final turn here and the brake run, and the higher sections are white to blend in with the mostly grey sky that we get here in the UK. But yeah, it's looking really good. Now, let's look at the station building. Not really much more has happened on there since we were last down at the site. However, I just wanted to start thinking about the theming that we're going to see on here, because obviously at the moment it's pretty much a tin shed. However, I'm hoping we're going to see some heavy theming on this. I mean, Thorpe Park are normally pretty good with theming coaster stations, yeah, especially on the exterior. So I'm really hoping we see a lot of great theming added to this. And that's the thing we still don't know loads about. We know it's going to have this kind of find your fearless, this light-hearted theme, this kind of goddess, which we're really liking the sound of. So I'm hoping we see some heavy theming added to the station and around parts of the ride as well. But in the plans, we couldn't really see much in regards to theming. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. And yeah, soon we're going to be seeing the track go into place. I think them sections that are on the floor are probably to come out of the support structure there. That is a very complex structure. It really is. I mean, look at that. Impressive to see. And the guys that are building this are all doing an absolutely amazing job. Look at that. You can see why they were having issues at connecting all of them different parts of the support together, because yeah, it is very, very complex. Again, I just like getting this shot, so I thought I'd show you it again. No change since we were last there. But yeah, you've got the fantastic outward bank turn, which is going to be incredible. And also you can see it here from the road. This just shows how it's already starting to impact the skyline, and we're not at the maximum height yet, you know, and there's still like another 50 foot to go from this element. And yeah, that just shows just how it's looking now from outside of the park, because yeah, already we're starting to see this dominate the skyline around the area. It really is an amazing project to follow. And of course, stay tuned for more updates here on Theme Park Worldwide. The Sparkle project's also continuing around the rest of the park. Colossus is being repainted. You can see the Cobra roll there with the primer underneath, and then also the finished colour on top. And then of course a nice zoom looking out over Thorpe Park as well with that ever-changing skyline. But thanks for joining us here at Theme Park Worldwide. Stay tuned for more updates from Hyperia, and that leaves me with one final thing to say. Get out there and keep on riding. We'll see you in the next video.